What's going on, everyone? Talen here, and welcome to another uniform review video. Alright, so we have two new uniforms here. We have a Daken and X23, so we're actually finally getting uniforms for them. Or actually, this will be, the third uniform, I think, for X23, but it is the first uniform for Daken, so I'm quite excited to see what they did for him. So yeah, we'll hop into his uniform first, since he is first on the list there. We have Daken as the Dark Wolverine here. And yeah, let's see what it does. So changes both of his passives, it looks like. Gets 30% HP increase, and then it gets increased to a skill damage by 40% and 30% bonus damage for his uniform. Alright, tier 2 passive. So we have ignore dodge, super armor, 30% defense, and decreased damage received by 25%. Really nice passive because of the ignore dodge. I really like characters that have the built-in ignore dodge, so you don't have to worry about putting some ignore dodge strikers on your list there. So that is good to see. But besides that, it's pretty much, well, I guess that is offensive, but everything else is defensive beside that ignore dodge. His 4-star passive here is a heal below 99%, so very similar to all of the healing mutants and healing other characters. We have that 5% heal that keeps ticking away, so he's going to have great survivability because of that. And he's got that big one-time heal when he drops below 33%. He gets a 65% heal, so it just goes right back up to full health on a 100-second cooldown. So it's really only going to happen twice in a fight, I guess, if you proc it really early. But besides that, you're probably only going to see that happen once. First skill, I don't have anything too crazy there. Second skill, nothing there. Third skill, all right, we got some stuff here. We've got a ignore iframe skill, so good for PvP. It's also quite useful in world boss as well, because I find myself using ignore iframe a lot on fights in world boss, just when they're doing pseudo kind of face changes, I guess you can call them. Then you can get some damage in there, or when they do an attack where they happen to go into an iframe, you can still get some damage in. Of course, you will probably take some damage in return, since they will in turn, I just dropped my phone there. Since in turn they will also ignore your iframe that you're in. But anyway, we have penetration for super armor, barrier, shield, all damage immune, and invincibility. So yeah, it looks like a great skill for PvP. We have 5 seconds of invincibility. We've got all attack, all defense by 50%, 1% speed, and 15% crit rate. Fourth skill, we have, we got accumulation here. That's good. I can't remember if he had it before. I think he did, but I thought it was when hit. When this looks like it is now when attacking, so that is great news. So we have accumulate 10% of pure damage when attacking, and it's for 1% of 100%. So we have a 100%, or 100%. We have a 100% increase to attack here, so that's great. Then fifth skill, we've got increase all basic attack damage by 50%. So all attack by 50% there. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. I want to remember if he really did switch from getting hit to not getting hit for his accumulation, because I haven't used Daken in so long, because he still just has, well, with this update he now has his tier 3, but he's always just been a tier 2 character, and I don't really use characters anymore at tier 2, just because I only do World Boss Legend. I don't do any of the other world bosses, so I never really find myself ever using tier 2 characters. So pretty much always just use tier 3. So now that he's tier 3, try him out World Boss Legend. So we have first skill, swings around, does a few slashes. Second skill, does a dash with some slashes, which that's actually good for World Boss. If you need to kind of get away from them, you just hit that, and then usually you'll just phase through them because they don't get pushed back, and then you can create some distance. Third skill, some sweeping slashes there with his claws. Okay. Fourth skill, does a nice whirlwind here, so he's turning into a barbarian. Whirlwind. Fifth skill, another whirlwind. This is our new barbarian build here. Alright, so we've got probably, what did 3 have on it? Was that the accumulation skill, right? No. Forget which skill had the accumulation. I guess maybe it's the 4th skill. Yeah, 4th skill. Okay. Can we cancel that? Yes, we can. So we're probably going to do 3, 4, 5. Get the buff from 3. You're not going to get any like extra hits or anything from 3, so probably just want to instant cancel 3, since you might, I mean, if you want those slashes, sure, but it will proc early if you have a damage proc on him, so I wouldn't really recommend doing that if you had a regular damage proc. Just do instant cancel into 4, then operate into 5 as pretty much as quick as you can. It doesn't look like you can instant cancel 4. Yeah, so you can't instant cancel 4. He has to start kind of spinning, and then you can go right into 5. So you do have that very, very brief window right there where you can accidentally proc your damage proc if you're using like a regular Obelisk or a CTP of energy, because he does have a lot of hits, so CTP of energy will probably work great on him. You just have to worry about that slight inconsistency right there where you might proc early. It's very tight, so I wouldn't expect it to happen a lot, but it would still be something to worry about. Tier 3, what does that look like? Okay. Oh, look at the little after image stuff going there. And why is it like this water flying? It's like steam or mist following him. It's kind of weird. Alright, so tier 3. What does tier 3 get? Oh yeah, you can't. I don't like how you can't see what the tier 3 does in the preview here. Like if I hold down on the 5th skill like I was doing earlier, it shows the whole skill description. That doesn't work on the tier 3 skills. I can't see exactly what buffs he's getting, but let's see what they recommend. Yeah, 3, 4, 5, just what I thought. Boom. Yeah, and you have that slight delay and go in. Okay. And then okay, so the tier 3, usually if you go to the skill preview here and the tier 3 is at the end of the rotation, meaning they want you to proc on that skill or use that skill as your finisher, that means it should do more damage than the 5th skill. So just pop on into that and yeah, pretty much instant cancel the 5th skill and go into the tier 3. That, however, does not look very damage proc friendly. I expect that to be pretty difficult to line up with your proc, so I'd probably just... What's the 5th skill give? It does give the all attack. I would probably instant cancel the 5th. Like if you have a damage proc, I would probably do 3, 5, and then do the 4 into the tier 3. Because the 5th skill, you don't get any of the lingering effects, you just want the buff from it. So I'd instant cancel that for the buffs, hit 4 to get that a little bit of extra hits in, and then go into the tier 3. But if you have a rage on, you could probably just do the recommended skill rotation. So kind of my initial thoughts there. But he does look a lot better, so that's good. Yeah, this is tier 3, so I'm very tempted to try out Daken. I don't have like a really good build on him because like I said, he's been tier 2 for so long. I haven't really updated my build, so I'm pretty sure I just have a regular damage proc on him. But I am going to get this uniform because I am curious to see how he's going to do, so I will get him to tier 3 a little bit later because he's only tier 2 right now for me. So that will be a future video for Daken there once I get him to tier 3. But X23 here, I do already have her built. I know I have her fully awakened. I don't remember if I put a CTP on her though. So let's see what we have here. So we have X23's Target X uniform. Changes both of her passives again, it looks like. We've got 40% physical attack, got guaranteed dodge by 35%, and we have guard break immunity. So she gets a little bit more attack here than Daken in terms of her uniform effect, because he was more, I guess, more defensive, because ignore dodge I would still say is more defensive than offensive. It just makes it so your hits land a little more consistently, whereas the all attack here just, or the physical attack just blatantly raises your attack. Tier 2. So we have crit damage 35%, crit rates by 35%, and skill damage by 45%, bonus damage by 40%, so pretty much all offensive there. 4-star passive is going to be that same heal that we saw on Daken there, but we do have increase all attack, all defense by 35%, 10% speed, and 35% crit rate tied to it, which is an interesting choice because, as you can see, both of those techs are below the activation thing in the, as you can see from the indentation for the dots there for them. So that means that you have to be below 99% HP to get that all attack, all defense buff. And usually for these characters, it's kind of hard to do that because they keep healing back up to full health. So that means you're probably not going to have this active all the time, because it lasts for 3 seconds. It doesn't have a, what is it, 1 second cooldown. Yeah, so as long as you're below 99% HP, it will pretty much instantly refresh because the cooldown's only 1 second. But when you're healing up the full, if she has a lot of iframes on her skills so that she's not consistently getting hit to be below 99%, I wouldn't expect this passive to be active very often. So that could be one downside, but you know, it depends on her skills here. So let's see, we've got first skill, nothing there. Second skill, nothing there. Third skill, we have damage immunity for 6 seconds. Oh, that's actually pretty good. 6 seconds is on the higher side for damage immunity. All attack by 45%, defense by 45%, and speed by 5%. We do have accumulation on her. It is the exact same accumulation as Daken. And then we have the fifth skill here with a 75% chance to penetrate super armor, barrier, shield, all damage immune, but not invincibility. Okay. And then we have 5 seconds of invincibility for her. And then we have all attack increased by 50%. So they're very similar in terms of their skills, both Daken and X23 here. She gets a little bit more physical attack than him, but she doesn't get the ignore dodge. And what else does she get? I think she gets a little bit more all attack in general from her skills. No, she just gets a little bit more all attack because of her passive here than Daken. But everything else was the same because he also had 50% there. And actually, he didn't have 45%. I think he only had, what was it, 35% or 30%? So she does get more raw attack buffs here. But let's hop into the skill preview to see what her skill animations look like. Oh yeah, she also gets her tier 4. So she has access to level 80, whereas Daken does not. So that will also bump up her damage quite a bit. So at level 80, I expect her to hit a lot harder because just getting from 70 to 80, I've done it on a few characters. And so far, every character that I've tested before and after, their damage is pretty much doubled. So they pretty much get double the amount of damage just going from 70 to 80 and not changing anything else. First skill. That was very... Did she shoot him at the end there? She does. Second skill. A little spin there, then a slash. Third skill. And a slash, and then finishes with the downward one there. Get a little bit of extra damage. Fourth skill. Okay, some slashing, a little bit of residual damage. Fifth skill. Okay, does some spinning and slashing that stays there for a while. So we're going to want to do 3, 4, 5. Can we cancel 4 and get anything? All right, hold on. What skill does the least amount of... Okay, first skill doesn't do much. All right, so fourth skill. Okay, so it does still have some of the slashes with the fourth skill, because I didn't know if we missed out, because you can see her dashing around like that. So all we get is the after images. We don't get the other slashes, so that's fine. So I'm probably going to do 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's probably the rotation you're going to do. Okay, her skills definitely do not look damage proc friendly, because look how, see how fast the third skill is? Like, even if you instant cancel it, I think you, yeah, see, even when I instant cancel it, I still get quite a few hits in there. And then you have the hits from the fourth skill right there, so I think she's going to be very difficult to use with the damage proc or an energy or destruction. So I think she's going to need a rage to kind of shine, or to at least get her maximum damage, because I don't think we could do 4, 3, 5 doesn't seem to really help with that. And also look how quickly she gets out of the animation for the fifth skill. You can see here, boom, slashing. So all of that damage right there that we're getting from that extra kind of slash that's lingering there, that big red X that she made, none of that is going to be doing bonus damage with your obelisk or whatever damage proc you had. So if you have an energy or destruction or just regular damage proc, all of that is not going to get amplified by that damage proc. So that also tells me that she really needs to rage, because you're missing out on all that damage right there. So she definitely screams rage, whereas Daken looks like you can get away with a regular damage proc and he should be fine. He also stays in its 5th skill for the entire time, so that's going to be dealing the extra damage that you get from your proc. So Daken does seem better if you're going to use a damage proc, whereas if you have a rage to spare, X23 will probably be the better option, because she has access to tier 4 and level 80, because even if you don't get her to tier 4, just level 80 is going to be a big difference in her damage. Oh yeah, did they change anything for... No, all of this looks the same. Pretty sure, yeah. You could tell how dated her awakening skill is. There doesn't look like there's much going on there. There's not a lot of like dot damage or anything. So I'm assuming if we check here that we're probably going to cancel the yeah, so we're going to cancel that and do 3 4 5 like I thought. So can we instant? Yeah, we can instant cancel and then just go in like that. So, like I said, she does look good. If you have a rage to spare, I think she might be pretty decent, which I am going to be picking up this uniform because I do have her already fully awakened. And I don't remember what I had on her though. So let me find her real quick. Where are the mutants at the front? Am I blind? Where is she at? Oh, there she is. Yes, that's right. We just switched the new uniform. All right. So what do I have on her? Oh, I do have just regular damage proc on her. Okay. Yeah, so we could try her out with the regular damage proc. I don't expect it to really work too well, so I am probably going to put a rage on her once I get her to level 80. Yeah, so let's go ahead and try her out real quick with the build that I currently have on her and just see what she can do. Alright, so I'm just hopping in real quick with my kind of showcase team here, just to get a quick idea. And we're already going to use the all dodge ignore strikers because she doesn't have built-in dodge ignore. When she gets to level 80, then you can ditch these dodge ignore strikers and go with just regular offensive strikers. But for now, let's just see. And this isn't going to be the optimal team for her. But yeah, you can see that my obelisk procced way early, so I did not get any of that damage under the proc. There we go. That time that was with the proc. And as you can see how the damage slowed down very quickly after that 5th skill kind of ended. So all of that extra damage was not getting amplified, and you can definitely tell by the... Oh, that actually landed... Ooh, that really hurt. That also landed with the proc right there as well. Interesting. Okay, that one procced early. Yeah, so it looks like she'll be very inconsistent with the damage proc, but I'm surprised that even 2 of them have lined up so far. Yeah, that one lined up as well. But again, you're missing out on all that damage right there. Now we can do the awakening skill. Yeah, damage proc went off early there. Okay, so she doesn't seem too bad. It's just her skills are... Her skill animations are too short, I think is the issue. If she had longer, like, duration for the 5th skill in particular, like, if she stayed in, like, that iframe or in the actual skill itself for that kind of lingering attack right there, I think that would actually help out her damage quite a bit. Or if she could get some more hits or something like that in. But right now, yeah, it doesn't seem... But I mean, she is doing decent damage here, and that's missing the damage proc most of the time. So when I put rage on her, she might actually be pretty dang good. Especially when I get her to level 80. But yeah, that'll be my initial impressions on the characters here. So they do both seem pretty solid. I wasn't able to, of course, go into War Boss Legend to test out Daken quite yet, but they both seem like very solid options to me. Definitely seem better to me than all of the Iron Man uniforms that came out last time, because they just didn't seem like much of a buff to the characters. These iron suits right here, they seem to either be very similar to what the character was with the previous uniform, or the new uniform just didn't seem that great. So yeah, as you could probably see, because I didn't buy any of those uniforms. But either way, that's gonna be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed, and of course I will catch you in the next one.